Welcome. This video is on how to configure the shop floor screen for specifically the work centers. The areas are covered in a different video. Go into the shop floor screen. We have our background image, which is of the plant floor. We have our two areas, cores, demo, and assembly. And in each area, we're able to hide or view the work centers that have been assigned to that area. When you click on a work center, it brings up the additional graphic that shows you more detail. We'll be able to configure that. Also, when you click on the area, it brings you to a zoomed in video graphic of the shop floor and then allows you to see those three work centers close up. If I click on it again, I get that same click in view. So we'll be showing how to configure those portions of the system. Go back to shop floor configuration. First thing is on the master screen or the area screen, we can move these around on this screen itself. So I can take the motor assembly on the assembly. If I click on it, the only option I have here is move graphic. So if I move graphic down to the bottom, it moves down there. And again, it's going to the top left corner of my icon. So if I move my graphic back, if I want to move it up here, I go to the top left corner and it moves it in that direction. That's the only one that happens on the master screen. The rest happen in the area screen. So I'm going to click in the cores demo. Oops. And we will configure area. We'll start with the buttons up at the top left. The obvious one is hide work centers. So currently they're all visible. If I were to hide the engine assembly one, that one drops off the screen. If I make it visible again, it's back on the screen. Second one are the options. These are the sizing options to show the size of the icons. If I were to change these to 25, 25, they're going to be 25% of the height and width of the screen. If I hit submit, you can see that they just got wider, but they also got shorter because 25% of the height of the screen. If I go to options again, the value that I found that we liked here was 2030. So if I change this to 2030, they go back to the same size we had before. So those are the hide work centers and options. If I click on a work center, I get that same tabbed view where I can move the work center, change the graphic, change the info, show the info, hide the work center, and change the label. So we'll start by moving the work center. Same thing here. I'd like to move this work center. I'm going to move it down here. Maybe I'll move it out just to make it obvious. So I've moved it down and out. The weird thing about that, or the nice thing about that, depending on your perspective, is if I go to the shop floor screen, the main screen hasn't changed. You'd like to think this would be over here, but we set its position on this screen here. And when we go into the drill in, that's the one that's different. So you can actually have a different graphic and a different orientation of the work centers in the work center view versus the master view. So we'll go back and we're configuring the cores demo area and we're going to move that graphic. Oops, no, we're not. We're going to configure the area and we'll leave it over here just so we can see the difference. Let's click on it and do some more things. Let's change the graphic. So the current graphic is that nested pie chart, donut chart, and that one's highlighted yellow here. It's the nested pie chart. Let's switch it to the target versus actual, and we get a completely different graphic. Let's also change the info on the pop-up. So when we clicked on it before, we got the 3 donut charts for the OEE factors, and here they are. We can switch this to, let's do this. Wow, there's an awful lot of options here. Just looking for the 6 big losses. Let's put the timeline chart on. So now when I'm on the screen itself, and I click on it, rather than getting the donut chart, I get the timeline chart. So that's what that configuration does, is what information comes. Go in and get back to my area or my work center configuration. The last couple, this one is just to show that information pop up in real time so I don't have to navigate all the way back. This one is if I'd like to hide the work center. So that's an easy way from there, and I can just bring it back again. And the last one is to put a label on top of it if for some reason I wanted to, so I can show or hide the label. Currently it's hidden, so if I show it, you see Mach 2 show up on top, which is the area it's in, or the work center's label itself, or I can hide that label. So just to review this, the shop floor screen. This did not move down here to the left because I didn't move it on the area screen. When I click, I get the timeline chart rather than the 3 donuts. When I click in, I get a different screen, which is a different orientation, and that's demonstrated by the fact that I moved this here. When I click on it, I get the timeline chart as opposed to the 3 donuts. Thank you for attending the video on how to configure the shop floor for the areas.